What is the most ridiculous thing you have seen at a party? We threw a party that got way out of hand and too many people showed up. I go in my living room and a girl is in the couch petting a dog. I ask whose dog is this, she says the people who live here. I reply I live here. This isn't our dog. A stray dog had been walking by and noticed a party happening and just walked inside and got on the couch and was being pet all night by drunk people. Some jackass did 14 jello shots in the span of an hour thinking they weren't all that strong. Then that jackass decided to puke in the kitchen sink and all over the front porch. The vomit was this nasty, congealed mix of vodka, jello, and beer. Then that jackass left the party and walked home with only one shoe, no phone, and missing his driver's license. That jackass was me. Walked into my bathroom to find my friend, who is a dwarf, blowing his load on the birthday girl's face. He had a bigger dong than I expected. Big house party many years ago and we notice a guy going through the fridge. As we're watching him from across the room, he grabbed a full bottle of Italian dressing and chugged the whole thing. He walked out like it was completely normal behavior. Drugs are bad. A drunk guy in a full gorilla costume sitting on a couch outside sees a drunk guy in a full banana costume riding by on rollerblades. They both immediately stop and turn towards each other, and without a single word spoken, charge full speed at each other and begin wrestling. About a minute later, both get up, winded, and the banana guy rolls off into the sunset, never to be seen again. Arrived late to a HS party. Walk up the driveway to a chair being thrown out an upper floor window. Walk into a split entry. Dudes are upstairs holding potted plants, dropping them onto the heads of anyone going downstairs. Girl whose parents owned the house is passed out. I go up. Friend hands me a beer. Don't even get a sip before cops are everywhere. Ran out back. Buddy hid the beer in a pile of firewood. Walk around front. Cop checks me out, but I am sober and had no booze on me. I drove my buddy's car. We went for pancakes. After we ate, we went back to get the beer. Someone had taken an axe and cut the deck off of the house. We found our beer and hauled butt. Monday morning, there was a huge investigation into who was at the party, trying to figure out who did the damage. 1990 was a simpler time. I've seen someone uninstall the sink of a bathroom at a house party back in high school. They brought their own tools and took the time doing so. 3 guys tag teaming a 40-year-old overweight woman who was married with children, and she was the manager at the local Domino's. I can't stop laughing at the thought of tag teaming WWE style. Shortly after arriving at a party, the sensitive guy with the acoustic guitar shows up. 15 minutes later, someone took the guitar and smashed him over the head with it, creating a large gash that bled profusely. The attacker then proceeded to run off into the night with the guitar and was never apprehended. It wasn't a good night for the musician. I guess someone wasn't a fan of Wonderwall. Guy starts hooking up with a girl. He asks his roommate for condoms. This guy's about to lose his virginity to this girl. Everyone's happy for him. He goes into a room and starts going at it. One of his friends busts open the door and asks the girl if she wants a third. First guy's screaming no. Girl says yes. So this guy's first time, he's having to share with another guy. At some point, a third guy enters. The entire party stops and everyone's just watching these guys rail this girl. Eventually the first guy drops out and just sits down and watches while the other 2 guys bang the first girl he's ever made love to. Felt bad for him. Wow, jerk friends. Half the partygoers gathered on the roof, ceremonially destroying a 4-featuring tall statue chandelier thing. They threw it off the roof and then everyone in the backyard either took a piece to commemorate the event or further destroyed the pieces of the statue. At another party, some guy set off a firework in an empty beer bottle and held it while it went off. Blood and glass everywhere. From what I heard, the guy was found an hour later passed out in the front yard clutching his hand. I went with my girlfriend and her friends to what was later revealed to me as a gay frat house. My girlfriend went to the bathroom for a while and a bunch of dudes hit on me. I felt special. Nice guys. Your girlfriend? Come on, we're leaving you. But these guys are nice. They say I have kind eyes. Someone I know spent 2 hours trying to put a pumpkin in someone's mailbox. He wasn't just pushing it in, he started punching it. Couldn't believe the stamina on that person. It sounds boring compared to the stories here, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever watched. Of course everyone spent the first 25 minutes trying to get him to stop, but after we gave up and just watched, it became hilarious. You've heard of strip poker? We were playing strip Red Rover. We were all in our 30s. Sent one poor girl to the hospital with a busted knee. This is something I would like to see but would never want to participate in. I was sitting on the roof and a guy said he wanted to dive through the window to get back into the house so he would look like James Bond. He ran to the window and dove right into a closed window. Cut his arm pretty bad and he just said, "Oh crap, I thought it was open. I should stop doing self-awareness." Kid smoking a catnip joint. The house owner was also selling rolls of toilet paper to the guests if they had to use the bathroom. I was at a house party where this guy called Nate was sleeping on a carpet. Eventually he somewhat woke up, said, "Name, Nate, code name, unknown," puked on the carpet and lied back down, straight into his vomit. He then fell asleep again. Probably the girl with the 4-year-old son who still breastfed him. She said she could squirt milk across the room, then proceeded to show us. I will forever know her as lactating Tracy. Invited to a party by a furry. We did know that she was a furry. We didn't know that it was a party for furries. We get there and there's a guy getting a tail butt plug put into his butt in the middle of the floor, inches from people who aren't paying attention to it at all. Those people were playing Magic the Gathering. The people in the backyard were playing with a high-power laser identifying stars. We didn't stay long. Some dude thought it is okay to throw up on my best friend Kat during the party. Kat was actually kind of cool with it. My friend wasn't. At least it wasn't your ex pooping on your cat. I remember someone heard some cops at the front door and decided to jump out the window leading to the backyard to get away. Probably should have made sure the window was open first. From what was to be just a noise complaint turned into an bill and paying for a new window. A party I was at in college was busted by the cops, and one of the girls panicked because she already had 2 drinking tickets. She jumped out a bedroom window, landing at the feet of one of the cops. I thought butt chugging was just a joke from some frat bro movie I'd never seen. Nope, people do it, voluntarily, who aren't pledges or rookies or in any way being hazed. I learned about butt chugging from Steve-O on the second Jackass movie. Someone pouring wash soap on the floor in front of the back door. Sick dude sat on a lazy boy sipping margaritas and watching people slip and fall. Arm mugs and brain injuries. I miss college. A totally uninterested guy sitting on a chair reading a paper and drinking a can of beer while a very drunk couple were making love in a bed a few feet away from him. He kept trying to talk to them about funny stuff he was reading and they kept shouting at him to frick off. As you can imagine, I only saw a few seconds of this and heard more about it later. The imagery of this is hilarious. This was ridiculous but honestly ridiculously cool. This dude showed up to a big house party of like 125 of us with his service dog. Not just any service dog though. A giant butt Great Dane with a makeshift army pack thrown over him that carried beers around for people at the party. He brought me a beer or 2. What a good dog. Definitely watched my friend feed the dog at least 5 hamburger patties at the end of the night in our drunken haze. There are service dogs and then there are service dogs. Girl masturbating with a beer bottle on the host's little sister's bed. Something yeast infection. Friend had a party in high school and walked in on a guy pulling his pants up quickly after clearly attempting to crap in his cat's litter box. God, George Clooney is such a dong. A girl fell through a ceiling at a house party when I was in college. That was pretty wild. I was once at a big indoor techno concert in Spain. Imagine this place was packed, good vibes, people dancing and having a good time. We're having a good time too. Suddenly, we all felt small drops of liquid on our legs. We stopped to look around, and we see this drugged up dude pee all over the dance floor. And behold, an hour later we see the same dude from distance being dragged out while lying on the floor for doing the same thing again. I swear people do the most fricked up things under influence. My buddy was throwing a New Year's party and it was pretty wild. Some people he didn't really know were their friends of friends, that sort of thing. A dude and a girl he didn't know went into his bedroom and locked the door. He was not having it. He bangs on the door and the guy yells frick off. My buddy's a pretty mild-mannered guy, but without a second's hesitation he takes a step back and kicks the door wide open. We pulled them out and walked them out the front door. He replaced the door frame the next day. I always lock my bedroom door before I throw a party. Back in high school, we went to a junior house party as seniors. There was a junior football player who was hitting on one of the senior football player's girlfriends while he was out back in the pool. When the senior kid came back, his girlfriend told him what happened. Everyone overheard and started yelling fight, fight, fight. The junior kid heard all the commotion and came running over to see what happened, and all the people at the party pushed him into the center of the group and made a classic fight circle around him. He started crying instantly when he saw the senior boy and his girlfriend walk up and got on his knees and started kissing the senior kid's feet. Everyone stopped yelling fight and the entire house went silent as everyone was confused what the heck just took place. I couldn't tell you what went through the senior kid's head, but he started laughing and walked away and everyone had a WTF look on their face and then went back to the party like nothing ever happened. This kid's already humiliated himself. If I fight him I'll just look like an butthole, and if he beats me it'll be even worse. One of my friends pulled down his pants, slipped a condom on and just started taking a wank in the living room. At least he was safe. Never know where that hand has been. This one redhead girl would always take too many shots and wind up stripping down naked and fricking somebody on their car outside. Every time. Saw a guy snorting coke on a dorm room floor. Someone said something funny and he laughed, spraying a cloud of coke. He started licking the carpet. When I was in college I was in a fraternity. At some point we started partying with some international students because we met some of them at a campus event. 90% of them were Brazilian. So, I was one of the sober bros watching the door talking with one of these Brazilian guys, and a chick came up the stairs, and without even saying anything, she grabbed his hand and dragged him into our little coat supply closet next to the door. About 10 minutes and some uncomfortable sounds later, they both come out and he gives me a wink. She continues downstairs and the guy and I resume talking. Not even 5 minutes later a completely different chick comes up and does the exact same thing to this guy. I thought this was hilarious, but I was also slightly jealous of this guy's apparent affinity with women. Girl probably planned it, told her friend about it, rinse and repeat. Two guys that I believed were straight were very much naked together in a bathroom. Maybe they were comparing ancient Greek warrior poses. Someone snorting lines of speed off another dude's abs. Was at a party when I worked at a ski resort in New Zealand where there were 4 naked girls on top of a table in just ski boots dancing and kicking beers in every which direction. Oh, and some guy literally strapped into a snowboard to crowd surf through the entirety of a packed house party. Ski life. Best life. The rules are different on the mountain. Girl wanted to make a revenge vid to send to her parents. So she sat in the middle of the room on all fours and let any guy frick her while she filmed it. Sorority girls are crazy. Girl got super drunk at party, so we put her at the toilet. Come back 10 minutes later and there's crap, pee and puke flooding in the bathroom floors. I guess after that she got it all over the carpet outside the bathroom and the owners of the house had to get new carpet. We called her the party pooper after that. Not a party but a college story. My buddy was in his dorm hallways with another friend painting something for a freshman class they were in. This guy walks up to them clearly blacked out of his mind and asks if they were freshmen. They obviously say yes since they were in a freshman dorm. The other guy just says welcome to college, picks up their can of paint and starts drinking it, walks away without saying anything, and they never saw him again. The legends are true. I was at a frat party at UCLA, nothing crazy until about 3 in the morning. Downstairs the DJ was still blaring music, so I did was all drunk teenagers would do and followed the music. As I walked downstairs I saw about a dozen people standing in a circle. When I finally made it downstairs to see what all the people were standing around, I saw that there were 2 people just making love in the middle of the dance floor. It was really awkward, like reverse cowgirl. The people making love knew that other people were watching. I'm not sure how long it continued on, but the funniest part was the DJ was shining a laser on the dude's butthole the whole time. I didn't stick around that long after that. Standing in bathroom line with a friend. She asks to borrow my chapstick. As she's uncapping it, she still has a drink in her hand. Cap comes off a little hard. She accidentally throws her drink back over her shoulder, all over the chick behind her, who freaks out, demanding to know who did that. Friend turns around, says, "Oh my god, someone spilled a drink on you," and uses the situation to bring other girl into the bathroom and clean her up. This defusing the situation and jumping the line. 300 like. We're sitting on the back deck. It's a warm summer evening. Close friends and friends of friends all sitting in our chairs in a big circle, chatting, drinking, smoking, enjoying ourselves. There are multiple conversations happening and everyone is having a nice time. No one is hammered. Everyone is at that beautiful place we all aim for when we're drinking, and no one has really gone past it yet. My friend and owner of the house stands up and announces, apropos of nothing, that he is going to crap into this ashtray. Picture a normal sized ashtray. He places the ashtray on the ground in the middle of the group and he drops his pants and squats over it. Everyone has gone completely silent. Every eye is transfixed on what is about to happen. The party is collectively holding its breath. In my head I'm asking myself, what happens after this? What kind of party does this become? What happens when someone breaks the freaking code of public decency so adamantly and without any purpose or reason? Where do we go from here? He grunts and groans like he's really trying, and then as abruptly as it started he pulls up his pants and says, "I can't do it," and everyone starts laughing and jeering and what the frick eyeing him. But for a moment, for that one spectacular moment, we were about to go to a place I've never been before, where a guy crap in an ashtray at party surrounded by friends, for absolutely no other reason than to do it, and I wonder where we'd all be now if he had. One time in early college, we partied all night at a friend's house back home after the end of the semester. Around 4 AM, we could not find one of our friends. He had wandered off, but we knew he couldn't have gone too far as he didn't drive and we were in the middle of the country. Finally found him a few minutes later in the bed snuggled up to the host's grandma. The most eye-opening thing, something I shared here in AskReddit quite some time ago, was a college party at a large off-campus apartment. My date at the time and I noticed that the crowd kept getting smaller and smaller, but no one was saying goodbye. We finally observed people going into a bedroom at the end of a hall, so went to check it out. The room was dark, crowded, and just enough light to see all sorts of things going on, and not just couples, but singles from the party doing whatever with whomever. We left as discreetly as possible, but the imagery from that event is hard to forget. Stumbled into a gay bar in NOLA for Mardi Gras, went to take a pee, went the wrong way, and opened up a room with more people freaking than I've even seen in any pee. It was intense. You have been visited by the romantic doggo. Comment love is magic so you never fall in the friend zone. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.